like that part. I like waiting until the little thing comes in there for the song. So welcome to episode 1 of Settling the Southlands, our brand new Southlands campaign.
Episode 1, ready for fun.
Episode 1, someone's gonna be done.
Oh.
How about that?
Already.
What are we getting hit by?
Episode 1 with Dan the Bum.
Hey, that's my Discord name.
I don't know how you're going to knock me off the boat and get run over by it, but listen, I'm excited to see how
You're gonna get caught in the
wheel at the back. You're just
Right, but it's gonna like bump you up, and you're just gonna keep falling and hitting like each propeller thing. It's gonna be
you're gonna. It's gonna be it's gonna be like falling down the up escalator.
Yes.
I hate escalators.
Oh man, so thank you so much if you're watching or listening to this. That means you are a patron already, which is awesome, and we love you for that. And I hope that you enjoy this as much as we're already enjoying making this. If you haven't listened to episode 0 yet, it'd be, you don't have to, but I think it'd be really good to help get to know these characters that are asounding, amazing. I can't wait to see what shenanigans they get up to.
Interruption. Alex, were you able to hear the music?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yay.
I changed a whole bunch of stuff around and I saw him nodding his head and I was like, wait, I think it worked. Sorry.
He was saying between episodes that he was happy that he could actually hear the music this time.
Ah, sweet. Okay, cool.
All right, so you are part of this expedition to the Southlands. If people don't know, that's similar to sub-Saharan Africa in our world. You sailed out, I say sail loosely, our Spirit of Valea, the massive dwarven metal construct that you're on, is not equipped with sails. It has huge paddles that spin to trudge it along through the waters. You left the dwarven hold of Barrack Var roughly 3 weeks ago, give or take, a little bit longer probably. Most recently, you left from the Arabian city of Lashik, where most stayed aboard. It was a very quick stopover to resupply things like water, drinking water, and some foodstuffs and things like that for the last leg of the journey. At this point, you have 3 days to go by their calculations until you approach the you're there to establish, but this chosen site in the Southlands below the desert of Araby, where you're going to try to create this town. You're here to establish a new outpost for a city that will be called Wissenberg. You have been hired or brought along by the Elector Countess of Nuln's daughter. Her name is Elsbeth von Vliebwitz, and she has had a history of being very adventurous and having this very motivating wanderlust where exploring the empire hasn't been enough for her anymore. And because Wissenland had a large portion of their province taken away to create the province of Sudenland after Solland was destroyed by an orc Wa, their family wants to regain some land back, kind of boost up the name of the von Liebwitzes. And Elsbeth decided that why not go establish a colony somewhere else in the name of Wissenland. At least nobody was talking for that. Easy for me to cut out. And you are part of a large expedition. You have been hired specifically for your skills to help go scout out the area, the region, find things that the settlement might need, potentially allies, learn about what enemies might be around, potentially take care of those things, maybe even report them back. There are a pretty large number of troops with you that were originally a part of the Liebwitz Palace Guard. There are about 36 of these men and women at arms. But just so we are aware, I'm going to go through a brief list of what NPCs are with us on the boat. So you have an idea of who has been traveling with you. You can start thinking about what relationships maybe you've developed over your time on the boat so far. And we'll go over real briefly about each of your characters as well, in case people decide to skip episode 0. So first up, of course, is Lady, or she likes to be called Princess Elsbeth. Mostly she finds that just kind of funny. If you see her, she doesn't look anything like a princess. She wears like a loose-fitting shirt because she likes to be comfortable. She wears pants, which seems out of place compared to her mother, who is very well known as the Countess of Nuln. She throws grand balls all the time, and she has new dresses constantly. Elsbeth is very much sick of that stuff. And it's well known as well that she tires of that kind of lifestyle, which is one reason why she is funding this campaign. She's brought with her a court advisor, an elderly man, a bright wizard. For those that don't know, would be a fire wizard. He goes by the name Char, just kind of to be more intimidating that way. The captain of the guard, his name is Rudy, is well known about the ship. He's not in charge of the dwarf ship, of course, but he is in charge of the security of all of the people that are part of the expedition aboard. With him, he has 36 of the men at arms. There is a painter, an artist, with you, who she's there to kind of document what's happening in paint.
Does she have a name?
Yes, she is Helen Diesdorf. I had to go to the different part of my that has all their names. There's a cartographer who's going to be here to help. You guys will supply with information to help map out the area. A dwarf named Gronenson. We have a few carpenters. We have father and sons Conrad and his sons Dieter and Bruno Holtz. And with them, they're the leaders of these carpenters. And with them, they have some artisans, Clem, Carl, Ella, Jana, Danielle, Carl, and Ulf. Yes, there are 2 Carls. One's with a C, one's with a K.
Aw,
Good
snap.
luck differentiating.
Right?
There is an apothecary who is quite skilled, a halfling named Kellum Bristleback. There's a smattering of cooks, led by a couple of halflings, Kettlecry Piegrabber and Mort. And then they are the proper cooks. And under them are some sous chefs that are humans. We have, there's a Lily, which is kind of, there's another Lily. There's Felix, Jarrod, Yeoman, Phillipe.
It's like you wrote this thing himself.
What?
2 characters named Lily and Felix.
Yeah, I put them together on purpose. I thought that was funny. It's Lily May and Felix Eustace.
Oh.
There are a number of engineers to help with the creation of buildings and planning things out. There is Grunoldsson and Ekran Transson, both dwarfs. They are the leaders of these engineers, and with them there is Ulik Hardscrabble and Helena Grunolds' daughter, also dwarves. Elsbeth wants the best.
Yeah.
Leading them, though, much to their chagrin, is actually a human Chilean civil engineer, and his job is to plan out the city as it is built, planning out where things are going to go, how things are going to work, potentially making sewers eventually, things like that. This is Giovanni.
His last name is Civil Engineer?
What?
Didn't you say his name was like Trask Civil Engineer?
No, he is a Chilean civil engineer.
Oh, that's not a name.
He's from Tilia, so he's like Italian.
That
His
makes
name
more sense.
is Giovanni Marconi, and he was created by a patron and friend of the network, Bastian.
I totally knew it as soon as you said civil engineer, because I remember in the Discord, he was like, he's very civil.
Yes. And he actually leads, he is...
No offense,
kind of-
Bastion, but that's like super bad guy name.
Yeah.
I mean, even Marconi's right from Batman.
Right. Well, and Giovanni's the evil gym leader from
I was
Pokemon.
just thinking
Right?
that too.
That was my
Like-
first thought. I like it. I like it a lot.
Team Rocket.
But he's in charge of the engineers, much to the chagrin of those dwarves, but they're going to do what they were hired to do. There are some miners as well that will help
They have
collect
children on this
supplies.
voyage?
God, I should have known you're going to say something like that. They're led by Master Miner Verna's daughter. And then she's in charge of Erin Greybeard, Rudy the Red, Gotrek Bjornsson.
2 Rudies?
Mhm.
And a Gotrek?
Yeah.
Is either Rudy spelled R-U-D-I?
They both. Oh, no. The human guard captain is, the dwarf is Ruddi.
Double D.
Yeah. It's a little bit different. There are a couple of elves on this expedition with you. The one you probably see, actually probably less often, is a wood elf scout named... I gotta figure out how to say this name. It's very long. It's Kelthia Lana Talanthea, but she goes by Kelthie because anybody that's not an elf can never say her name correctly.
It's fair.
And she is a scout. She is there. She's an expert in forests, being from the Lorn forest in the Empire, and
She probably hates this ship.
she's not been. No, definitely not being covered in metal all the time.
Yeah.
No, not a fan at all. There's also a high elf, a diplomat named Lenithar Goldenrod, who is there in case you come across any other civilizations here. He knows tons of languages and knows how to talk with people and can help with that. One of my favorites, there is an ogre bounty hunter named Thorglash, who is kind of what? He is there kind of as Elsbeth's personal bodyguard. But Rudy's not a fan of this because that's kind of his job. But Thorglash is here as a mercenary who's just trying to make his way in the world as an ogre. He's also very good for manual labor, obviously as a big old 8 foot tall or 10 foot tall monster, basically.
Good Lord.
Ogres are real big.
Makes me look short.
The physician, our human doctor that is Bethen's kind of boss, is Melissa Orenth. And she is very well skilled, but she hasn't been around that long in terms of being in this part. She came to Nuln very recently, but she is very highly skilled. There are a couple of priests. Of course, we have Herman Kolberg, who is a high priest of Sigmar. And then we have Rudolf Nadman, who is a high priest of Ulrich, who's a little out of place here, but the expedition.
What were their names again? I'm sorry, the Sigmar and Ulrich guys.
Herman Kolberg is the priest of Sigmar, and then Rudolf Nadman is the high priest, the priest of Ulrich. And Elsbeth wanted to represent the two biggest religions in the Empire to show that this new province was going to basically be faithful to all of the Empire, not just the North or South.
Super quick question. The lead cook and the ogre, were they created by anybody?
No.
They weren't?
No.
Okay. Mr. Pie Grabber was not made by JB?
No, that's a classic. One of my favorite names that I try to use.
Thorglash was not made by Throwlash Gaming himself?
So so it sounds a lot like Throwlash. I was trying to name that after a player on the game, the classic Mountain Dew Giant game, where one of my players was an ogre and his name was something like that, but I can't remember exactly what it was. And I lost the sheet, unfortunately. But yeah.
I was like trying to pick out like who might be Patreon members and who might be other people that are helping.
All these here, other than Giovanni, are ones that I've created.
I love the name Giovanni Marconi.
It's really good. There are some lumberjacks as well to help chop down trees and build buildings. You have you're aware that many of the structures for this settlement are partially built on the ship already. They're kind of prefabricated so they can be erected very quickly. But they brought some lumberjacks from Ostland to help with clearing more of the trees here and building more structures because they couldn't bring everything they would need on this ship. It is very large, but not that big. But they are all from Ostland. There's Frederick Zellen, Jack, Lars Holdroft, and Victoria Essen. And then round out members of the expedition, a couple of slayers joined in Barrack Var, hearing about traveling to this foreign land. They want to die an honorable death in combat. There is Zardrak, who boasts about being a giant slayer. He has killed a troll in the mines of Zufbar. And there's also Brunor Jarrickson, who you can tell is a very new slayer as his mohawk is very short. Mm-hmm. He shaved his head very recently. Some kind of whatever his shame was happened not too long in the past, so he's hoping to regain his honor quickly in the Southlands. And then, of course, because you're on this ship, basically Elsbeth has hired this ship for this expedition. It's captained by they're all dwarves. The captain's name is Urok. He spends pretty much all of his time on the bridge, controlling things, and lets his first mate, Burrison, kind of take control of the day-to-day things that kind of are Ulrich doesn't want to bother himself with because he's busy, but piloting this massive ship. So this would probably be about the size of a small city.
Wow.
Giving you an idea. If anybody knows of the game Dreadfleet, where they had city-sized ships that were just these massive, they had like whole towers and things on them. Within that vein, like there's the equivalent of, let's see, there are 15 dwarf seamen, 10 dwarf stevedores, 10 dwarf just kind of workers, and then 10 dwarf engineers that all work on the ship that are not part of the expedition, but they're kind of working as a ferry almost for you guys. They also have things like gyrocopters aboard that they can fly. There's other small ships within the ship that they can send out different places as well if need be.
That's cool.
Lots of cannon and thing on the decks to keep it safe from whatever might assail it. Yeah. All right, so real quick, I've talked enough here. I want to hear just a little bit about each of your characters for those that didn't listen to episode 0. Just giving us an idea of, your name, your career, and a little bit about why you are on this expedition. We'll start with Tim.
My name is Gertrude, but my friends, they call me Gerti. I come from, like a really great merchant guild thing out in the Grey Mountains. I do pretty good. I'm here to see new things and meet new people. I like to cook for people. It's gonna be a great time.
Your face is already red from that voice.
Yeah.
I can only tell you from experience playing Carl that's a lower degree. That's going to add up on your throat, brother.
Yes. I've already made tea.
All right, Jess, what do you get? Who are you bringing to the table today?
I have to follow that voice? The new kid's got to follow that. I'm going to pass. Oh, God, I can't.
Tim had told us ahead of time that it was kind of a mix of Watto.
Yep.
Or kind of like Watto. Coming hot out of the gate with that one. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, what a start. All right. I'm a Liliana, Pine Swoop. I am a rat catcher. I'm going to catch you some rats. Me and little Vicious down here, we'll take care of you. The things that bite your ankles in the night, I'm going to get rid of them. Don't worry about that. Yeah, that's all I need to know.
And you're a
Your
halfling.
Stuff. Yeah, I'm a halfling, and I'm very short because they're all so tall. And anything that's yours is mine. If you didn't figure it out by now, we've been together on the ship for a while. It's yours, it's mine.
All right, Alex, who are you?
I am playing Heinrik von Bea, of course. Highly superior member of this party. I am a noble hailing from Middenheim, and I'm going to play an important role in civilizing the Southlands and bringing glory to my house.
Awesome. All right, Dani, what do you got?
God, this is so much pressure.
Oh, this is why you drink early. It makes it so much easier.
Hello, it is. I mean, no, wrong game.
Hello, I am Bethen. I am a human physician, and I am excited to learn more about the flora and fauna of the Southlands and see what I can take back to the Empire to help heal people and empower them to be able to heal themselves, because you can't live your best life if you're not healthy. And health is really the most important wealth that there is.
Is that like her personal mantra?
Yes, health is wealth.
I like it. All right, so we have these 4, our dwarf, halfling, human, another human. You guys have been assigned a bunk together. There's a little bit of mix up in the paperwork of things, and Heinrik, I'm sorry, but you don't have a bunk with your servants. Got Gerti, your sister, is in another bunk as well. You were all hired for a particular job, so You have a bunk together, the four of you. The bunk basically fits the four beds. There's two on either side on top of each other, and there's a little bit of room for personal storage, not much at all. Dwarves, in their ever pragmatic ways, have made this as economy to the max.
Wait, when you say that the beds are on top of each other, do you mean we have bunk beds?
Yes. Built into the walls kind of thing. Yeah. But there's not much room. Since this ship was designed and built for dwarves, the ceilings are only about 6 feet tall anywhere. And the doors are all like bulkheads. So anybody other than, Bethen and Heinrik will have to duck pretty much all the time unless you're on the decks. Oh, and through doorways, you're going to have to bend over pretty far.
My entire life, I've been above average in height, so that is not something I'm unused to.
And then the beds themselves, split in half that way. There's only a foot or two of space between the mattress and the ceiling.
Liliana's going to immediately crawl onto the bottom bunk, shouting, "Short people on the bottom!" And I'm going to spread out and go, "There's so much room!"
So we're joining in with you guys. Like I said before, you've been on the ship for roughly 3 weeks or so. You left Lashik a few days ago. You have roughly 3 days until you are to reach your destination. And there's a knock on your bunk door.
Heinrik, get the door.
Heinrik is going to kind of stand up as best as he can and assume a dignified pose to welcome a guest, recognizing that ceiling is not going to let him do that totally gracefully.
Hey, who is it?
And you open the door?
Yes. No, Heinrik does not open the door.
I was going to say, I was going to do the first thing she tells you to.
Oh, let me do it. And I go and I open the door.
Did you just pick up dice to roll to open the door?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to be here.
You open the door and it is Burrick Burrison, the first mate.
Oh, Mr. Burrison, how are you?
Oh, I'm very good. Hello, Gerti. How are you?
I'm doing great. You're called me Gert. My friends call me Gerti, not Gert. My full name is Gertrude. Try harder.
Well, I thought I said Gerti, but maybe it was my
maybe
accent.
you did. I'm sorry. It's first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got I've been asked to bring something to you guys.
Oh, a gift. This early.
I'm not. He holds up his hands that are empty. He's like, "Well, sorry, not a thing. An issue that we got for you."
Oh.
Is there a round of indigestion?
Kind of. Yeah. There seems to be a sickness going around down below.
Oh dear.
And below decks here. I suggest stay on deck as much as you can. These last couple of days, it seems. I didn't want it to pass around too quickly, but it seems that mostly humans are getting sick. A couple dwarves have gotten it too, so it looks like it's not exclusive that way. A couple people have gone missing. Not overboard. We would have seen that. We got people watching for that. But we just thought maybe you can do some of your scouting early. You heard that's what you're brought on for. This room in particular. Your employer knows more though, but the captain would appreciate it if you could, check this out.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Now, when you say a sickness, what are some of the symptoms that these humans and the occasional dwarf are suffering from?
I don't really know. I just know there's a few that are sick. You could talk to the lady in charge of all this. I think she know more for you.
The princess.
Yeah. This is what they call her.
Wonderful.
Can we get breakfast first?
I guess so, but
Sweet.
they want you to do this job, but I'm not gonna tell you no.
I can eat and walk. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's generally not advisable to start the day without some type of sustenance.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can hit the galley before you talk to her if you want, I guess.
Are there any procedures taking place to make sure that we don't, commingle communicable diseases while in general areas?
Oh, yeah. All those that have gotten sick have been quarantined in the med bay.
Oh, great. Okay. So the galley is probably pretty clear?
Of the sickness?
Yes.
I hope so.
Ah, great. Okay.
Like I said, we still got a few days to go. If our cooks get sick, people are going to go hungry.
Okay. Let's grab some food and go and speak to Princess Elsbeth.
Great. Thank you. I got to get back to my duties, but good luck.
Hey, yes, you too.
Thanks. He kind of walks off wherever. He's got a peg leg. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Do we know where Elizabeth hangs out?
You would know where her quarters are after this time. You've never been there, but
yeah.
She has the biggest area, of course, staterooms.
Are they on the way to the cafeteria, or is it like past it?
Which one do you want to go to first?
I will send one of my servants to notify the princess of our imminent arrival. I think that we can use the time to get a small bite to eat.
Very good.
Heinrik, I'm glad you're here.
So first you got to head to the servants' room then. For whatever reason, they got stationed on the opposite side of the ship.
They would know that it's the morning and it would have been their time to come to me.
Ah, okay. That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
So we'll say the four of them are waiting in the hall for you already.
Yes.
They know first light to be there, ready to work.
Yeah. Yes, my loyal servants. Grisham, could you go and check with the princess and notify her that we will be visiting later this morning to discuss the unfortunate illness incident? I am certain that the living quarters that you're in and commoner food that you have been fed is perfectly safe. So do not worry yourselves. We will certainly take care of the matter.
No,
and
sir,
just for players to know, the servant's name is Graham, not Grisham.
I changed it in my notes. I was like, I thought he said Graham before.
Nope.
I wondered if you were doing that as playing it up.
Oh,
I love
amazing. And he says, yes, sir, I would never pretend to eat above my station. I will gladly go tell the princess for you.
Thank you.
And he hurries off.
The rest of you, please make sure in the kitchen that the food that we are served for breakfast is prepared in clean dishes.
Yeah.
Believe all the cooks are halflings, so chances are we're probably gonna be in a pretty great spot.
I'm gonna narrow my eyes at you and be like, "Are you saying something about halflings over here?"
All I am saying is if there are unwell people in this boat, we certainly don't want to burden ourselves with any unnecessary filth.
Your hulking servant, Otto, snaps to attention. He says, yes, sir, I'll do it. And then he just runs as best as he can, ducking the whole way.
I do love his work ethic.
That is obviously why we would pay him if he was obligated wages.
The other two stand there at attention, just kind of waiting.
Shoo, go on. You know what to do.
Oh, okay. They hurry off after Otto.
I'm gonna whisper to Vicious, do they know what they're doing? I don't think they know what they're doing. And we're going to hop off the bed and we're just going to saunter right past Heinrik, shoving him out of the way if he won't move himself, and head out to the galley.
Nice. All right, so you are familiar with the basic layout of the ship. You know how to get to the galley, no problem. It's pretty busy this time of the morning. Most people get up when the sun rises, just because there's not much else to do at this point. You're not working on the ship yet. I mean, now you are, but most of the people in the expedition don't really have a job yet. It's just kind of waiting until they get to the mainland there. So you can go through the line, you get some breakfast, you got some biscuits and kind of a porridge at this point. Because you're so close, the meals are a little bit smaller than they were in the beginning, but it's not like you're not like starvation rations or anything like that because you did resupply pretty recently in Lashik. But you can get that and take it on your way. You're going to head up to Elsbeth's quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you make your way there and you immediately notice that the closer you get, the more guards there are. People stationed every so often, and that every so often becomes more and more often as you get closer. Once you get to her rooms, you're pretty higher up on the decks, pretty much right below the bridge. The captain of the ship, his rooms are also on this level of the ship. And you see standing outside of a particular bulkhead is a large man who is bent. He looks very uncomfortable in this hallway. He has very dark skin, short black hair, and he's wearing the livery of House Leibowitz, which is pretty much the same as Nuln, to say black and bone colored. And he's wearing armor, and he has a halberd that he has to hold at an angle. Otherwise, it doesn't fit in the hallway.
Would Liliana or I know who this gentleman is?
You recognize him as Rudy, the guard captain.
Gotcha.
Big waving from Liliana.
His name is Rudy
mouth.
Gifford. And yeah, he's the same height as Bethen. He's 6'2".
Gotcha.
So he's rather large and very out of place in this hallway. He sees you waving, and he just kind of nods back. He says, "Can I help you?"
Good morning, Rudy. We have been summoned to speak with the princess about the unfortunate matter below decks.
Oh, yes, that. She is expecting you. Seems one of your servants came and let us know a few minutes ago, so thank you for that. Head right in. And he opens up the door, swings into the room. You guys can duck your way in, and this is not like a bunk. This is quite lavish. The ceilings in here are actually a little bit taller. Humans can stand up straight in this room.
Nice.
You can see the windows. There are windows in this room, not just one single porthole like the bunks have. Windows looking out the back of the ship. You can see the ocean behind with the bright sun shining there. And you can see this is like a suite. There are a couple doorways to other rooms, but you see Elsbeth sitting at a desk working on something. She has all kinds of papers about. There's a bookshelf on one with like the books are like held on with rope just in case the ship were to shake too much to keep them on the bookshelf. So you probably haven't seen Liliana maybe has seen Elsbeth in the Palace of Nuln before this trip.
Probably in passing from far.
Right. You may have caught a glimpse of her. Bethen, I'm sure you've seen her, maybe spoken with her. She's not a noble like Heinrik is by any means. She has no problem talking with people that would be considered below her. She's kind of like a leader of the people kind of person, which is one reason why she's doing this trip, to gain more favor by expanding the realm of Wissenland. She is older than the humans on the trip. You know that she is in her late 20s. She is beautiful like her mother. She definitely takes after the Countess that way. But she wears her hair short cropped. She has brown hair. And you see her wearing her typical kind of a white, like loose fitting blouse. She wears a big broad rimmed hat to kind of like have that adventurer look, sort of, to kind of, so people know exactly what they're getting basically when they see her. Even on her belt, she has a rapier. On one side, a dagger on the other. And she sees you come in and she smiles warmly and she says, "Oh, welcome. You've got my message."
Yes, Elsbeth, you are the pinnacle of strength and constitution. It's so great to finally meet you.
Oh, well, thank you, Sir Dwarf. You don't...
My name is Gertrude, but you, as we are friends now, may call me Gerti.
Oh, well, very good, Gerti. You can call me Elsbeth. That is, Lady Elsbeth is fine. I said something I was going to say, and then I forgot it.
I'm very striking. It can take your words away sometimes.
No need for flattery, though. I'm not my mother, but I do appreciate it. welcome, welcome. Come in and have a seat. And you see there are a couple like shea lounges around you guys can sit on. Comfy stuff. She doesn't get up from her desk, though. You can see her moving papers around and looking. You can glance over. They're mostly maps, some writing and things as well. Who in the party can read and write?
I sure can. Yeet.
Yep.
Definitely.
Heinrich can.
Wow, so
Definitely.
3 out of 4.
Sweet.
So
One who
everybody-
said she was going to go mage, did not take it. I'm going to pop myself on one of those chairs. Vicious will jump next to me, and we will just eat breakfast and listen.
Nice. All right, so yeah, she kind of, it's like she keeps working, but she's talking with you, and she says that, I assume Burrick told you our issue at this time?
Yes, he said there was a form of illness below decks, some kind of indigestion striking mostly humans, but the occasional dwarf as well.
Yes, unfortunately, it seems to have stymied Melissa. She's not sure what is happening with these people, but they are coming down with something virulent. No one has died yet. I'm pretty sure between Melissa and our apothecary that they'll make it. But I'd like to find out the source of this to stop anybody else from coming down with it.
Certainly, certain kinds of filth are totally unavoidable in a journey such as this. Perhaps there is a cleanliness issue that needs to be addressed.
It could be. We have been on the ship for quite some time. I know the dwarves are fastidious in their cleanliness of it. I've been quite impressed this whole time. We're not sure what is causing these people to come down with this illness. We have had a couple of guards disappear as well. Also, this all happened just in the last 3 days. So I want to, if there's any kind of, I don't want to say the word, but if there's any kind of sickness that could spread quickly, we want to try to figure out what's happening before that happens.
Indeed.
Where is even a place people could disappear to on this ship?
I'm not sure. The dwarves swear that no one's gone overboard. That apparently they have been looking for that constantly. With a ship this size, it can happen on accident, but they swear that they have been no evidence of that.
I'm going to pipe up, talking through my food. Something could have eaten them.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand your halfling friend.
I'm gonna swallow. Something could have eaten them. Then there would be no body, and no one would know where they'd go.
What my halfling companion needs to say is that some being could have consumed the other crew members.
That's what I said. Eaten them.
I did hear you'd said something.
I mean, yes, that certainly could happen. I'm just not on this ship. There's some horses and other livestock down below, but unless somebody fed them to the pigs, they would have left behind some remains. There doesn't seem to be anything.
The pigs will eat everything.
But clothes and armor and weapons?
Bones and yes.
You think a pig would eat a sword? But none of their possessions were even left behind. They're just gone.
Interesting. Well, there must be a logical explanation.
That's what we're hoping for. That's why I thought I would ask you to start your protection of this colony a little early.
Who are some of the people that aren't here anymore?
Those gone missing are strictly guards.
Oh.
And what area of the ship were the guards guarding before they went missing?
I'm not really sure is the problem. It seems we typically have them go around in patrols where the dwarves will allow them, of course. Dwarves do a lot of their own patrolling of the ship to keep things safe. But it seems that without really realizing it, there'll be one gone here and there.
Do you know some of the last, patrol routes or areas that they were in before they were no longer accounted for?
Oh, that would be Rudy's specialization there.
Yes,
I don't know that off the top of my head, no.
And you said you have already consulted Dr. Ornth and Kellum on this matter.
Yes, they are with the patients now down in the med bay, as the dwarves call it.
Wait, are the sick people related to the missing people, or are these two very different thingies?
Something that I hope that you can find out for us. I don't really know.
What is the population of the people that are sick now?
I believe there are 8. If that's what you mean.
And they're a mix of guards or regular people. There's some dwarves.
Yes, one of them was a dwarf, or one of them is a dwarf. Sorry. Like I said, they haven't, no one has died from this yet.
Does the dwarf have a name?
I'm sure someone could tell you that. I know of the problem. I know some of the details, but not all of them. There are others that will have more information for you.
Medbay will know.
Perhaps we should not burden the princess so much with her time and ask some of the other crew members if they have information to advance this investigation.
Yes, I'm sure once you find out who it is that is sick, you can talk to those above them and find out what they've been up to. Maybe you can find some kind of commonality between them all, something that could be causing this sickness.
Yes.
An extremely wise suggestion, of course. We will notify you of our progress with the investigation as it proceeds.
Oh, very good. Thank you. I appreciate you stepping up before we even had made landfall.
It is, of course, my duty. And Heinrik is going to stand up and bow, and then his eyes are going to dart to everybody else in the party is kind of like, why the hell are you not being more respectful right now?
Does anybody else follow suit, or?
Yeah, Bethen will. Like, she knows how to address Elspeth.
I'll pop up because Bethen pops up. Jump off my seat. Food's done. I left the bowl right back where I was sitting. Didn't even think about picking it up.
Did you share with Vicious at all?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. I
Definitely.
figured.
The dog was eating out of the bowl while I was eating out of the bowl.
Totally forgot about this. Should have asked in session 0. What does Vicious look like?
Has anybody watched Wishbone when they were little?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
think Wishbone, but like a little fluffier, a little bit more whiskier.
Okay, so like
And-
a long-haired Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
Love it.
Beautiful.
And you're
Is
not
it
sure if it's
basically like,
what, Alex?
is this like a wishbone from the streets, a little scruffier,
Yeah. Yeah.
not a sheltered suburban dog?
Correct. Like, should have a fluffy tail, but might just permanently be dirty enough to not look fluffy. Just suggestive enough of dirt.
Yes. I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll absolutely bow before we leave.
Very good.
I'll salute, not bow. Little tiny fake salute.
It was great meeting you in all of your magnificence.
Oh, well, thank you, Gerti.
We are friends.
I'm going to pat Gertie on the shoulder and be like, tone it down, bud. Tone it down.
She called me Gerti.
I know. It's great. Let's go.
I am friends with the princess.
I know. It's cool. Let's go.
All right. I do believe that before we head down to the med bay, we should speak to Rudy and find out more information about these missing guards.
I think that's a great idea.
He's right there in the hall.
I know. I'm going to spit on my
Yeah.
foot and say, let's
Let's
go.
do it.
All right. Says, I see you are ready to investigate this issue.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Who were your guards that disappeared?
Oh, looks like 3 of them have gone missing the last couple of days.
Were they like on any particular part of the boat that they were supposed to be checking out? Or
They would, as far as I understand from what other patrols have told me, survivors, that the 3 went disappearing in 3 different parts of the ship, but it was all during the night.
oh, that's really spooky.
Do your guards have any kind of check-in system, or do they ever travel together or cross paths to establish a time of disappearance that is more specific?
Whenever they are patrolling off of this particular deck, we travel in groups of 4 for safety, just for propriety's sake. Getting used to that as well from when we are make landfall. In terms of, unfortunately, in all 3 cases, they turned around at one point and one of their patrolmen were missing, and none of them know exactly where it happened. somewhere in the lower decks. I know that much.
And is there any commonality on the guards that were along? Have you considered that perhaps one of the guards is acting in ill faith?
Oh, no. I specifically chose all the people to come on this trip because I know them and trust them. Other than the fact that I can't think of any commonality between them other than it was at night. There were 3 different patrols, all different people involved.
What were their names?
Those that have gone missing?
Yeah.
There was Hark, Reef, and Natasha.
And did all of these guards go missing on the same night, or was this over the course of a few nights?
2 nights ago, 1 went missing. Last night, 2 did.
So 3 will disappear tonight then.
Well, let's hope not.
Oh, yeah.
3 others have also gotten sick.
3 guards?
Yes.
What were their names?
There was Catherine, Ludwig, and Manfred.
Now, were they all stationed in the same area or different places or same as the guards that disappear, 1 in each?
They were on different patrols.
They were all on different patrols. No one else in their 4-man or 4-lady pods got sick also?
Catherine and Manfred were part of the same patrol and came down with it last night.
Were they night patrol, day patrol? Anytime patrol, paw patrol?
I do believe they were on night duty. Yes. Now that you mentioned it, all the 3 of them that got sick were all on night duty.
And of the non-guards that were sick, all from the same area, also scattered around?
I'm not sure about that. I know there were 3 guards, and then there were 4 others that have gotten sick.
5 others, right? There were 8 people sick?
That is correct.
Supernumerate.
I forgot how many there were for a second.
And they're all from the same place, different places. What? They're all quarantined in the same area, correct?
Yes, they are all 8 of them are now quarantined in the med bay with the doctor and that apothecary person.
Great. So we should probably go see your...
Yes. We should make our way to the med bay to see Dr. Orenth and Kellum, the apothecary.
Oh, very good. I hope I was helpful and that you can solve this as quickly as possible.
You were incredibly helpful. Easily the most helpful person I've met today.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Master Dwarf.
Oh, thank you, Rudy. You can call me Gerti.
Oh, very well.
My friends call me Gerti.
Very good. Thank you, Gerti.
We're friends. Nice.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
To the med bay.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So you can head down to the med bay. So it's a couple decks lower down. Take some stairs to get there. And here there are 2 guards standing outside of the bulwark door to the med bay.
I flash my badge.
Like, can we help you?
Yes, we are here to speak with Dr. Orenth about the illness.
Oh, yeah, kind of figured that much. They told us nobody's supposed to, they're quarantined, people are sick, they don't want it to go anywhere, so not supposed to let anybody in.
Please?
I don't want to go in if they're sick either. Can Melissa come out and talk to us, or?
I guess I can ask. And he knocks on the door behind him and kind of cracks it open. And he says, there's some people that talk to the doctor. And you hear like rustling around inside and people moving. And then Dr. Melissa comes out wearing like an apron. She's got like one of those like wrapped around her head. There's like a magnifying glass sticking down. So like her face is all distorted with that. And she's like, oh. And she pulls it up out of the way so she can see you better. Oh, yes. Oh, Bethen, hello.
Hello, doctor. I hear you have a fascinating case.
8, actually. Yes.
What can you tell us?
Oh, well, why don't you come in since you are with the here? Hold on just a second. She comes back in. She comes back out and hands you an apron. Safety, of course.
Apron. I love it. Oh.
The rest of you should stay out here, though.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
Hey, Bethen, why don't you take a look at this with me? I am a little stymied. Not sure what's going on. These people seem to have a number of conditions. Some of them are convulsing. They all have fevers, severe malaise. A few of them have some pox, which is why we are trying to keep away from them. And they have some wounds that seem to be common that are not healing well.
What do these wounds look like? Can you show me or describe?
Yeah, come take a look. And she'll bring you further in. There's like a room with a bunch of kind of like pallets, more or less, on the floor. Not full bed. They didn't have that many.
Right.
There are 2 people in proper beds, and the rest of them are kind of like a bunch of blankets on the floor kind of thing, because that's all they had. And you see 6 people and 2 dwarfs laying there, all red in the face, kind of. They're all sweating, or were very recently sweating from their fevers and clearly aren't feeling well. Most of them are asleep currently.
All right.
You want to look them over?
Yeah.
So you've met a few of the people on the ship at this point. You recognize the 3 guards. Obviously, they've stripped them of their armor and things, but they have their possessions in the first like triage type room. You see the lead lumberjack, Frederick Zellen, is laying there. There's the one dwarf is one of the engineers, and then 2 of the sous chefs.
Oh dear.
Are the other people. That's not 8. I seem to have missed one. Oh, 2 lumberjacks. Sorry, I'm gonna edit that for myself. You see 2 of the lumberjacks that work under Frederick. One is Jack, and then that you recognize. He's a large man with a big red beard. He stands out.
Jack the lumberjack?
Yes. And then there is one of the dwarf engineers. 2 of the sous chefs actually are in here as well. And then the 3 men-at-arms, of course, that you can kind of notice.
Oh, dear. All right, let me poke and prod these sick babies.
All right, so I'll have you make a difficult heal test to see if you can diagnose this. Our first roll.
4 levels of success.
Wow.
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
That's a really good first roll. So you having experience with being friends with Liliana, this is something that you've seen a few times in the palace. Because Melissa's so new to Nuln, it's not something that she has as much experience with. You recognize this as a rat fever, RATTE fever. You also notice that all the people have small bite marks somewhere on usually their lower legs, a few of them on their hands.
Okay, and now how would we treat this?
So you would know that this is something that lasts. It can be kind of a long duration, unfortunately. You also know it has a relatively long incubation. So these people actually contracted this further in the past.
Okay.
It has an incubation of somewhere between 3 days to a few weeks, even sometimes. And the duration is the same. Some people it lasts at least 2 weeks. So it's very debilitating, but it can last up to like 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay. Are any of the patients awake?
At this time, they're either sleeping or clearly in the midst of a fever.
Okay.
And not lucid.
Well, it will be important. I can't imagine a person would be bitten by a rat and not notice that. So it will be important to ascertain when they were bitten to the best of their knowledge.
Oh, yes. I can't believe I didn't think of rat fever. That makes so much sense. Thank you very much, Bethen. Your help is already monumental.
Yes. Now, we do have another matter, which I'm not sure if this is medical in nature, but there have been a few guards who have gone missing. And the princess is concerned that there is perhaps a correlation between this illness here and those disappearances.
Oh, goodness. Well, if it is rat fever, you pointed out those bites to me. I thought that they were just kind of everyday wear and tear on the body. It could be from ingestion of something that had rat that are already sick with this as well.
Oh, dear.
So it could be that they ate it, which would get them sick quicker, as far as I understand. So that could be a real problem. There are a couple, those two are chefs.
Now, what would rat fever look like in a rat?
Make another difficult heal check to see if you would know.
Nope.
Not that so you're not sure, like, if how that would affect an actual rat versus a person.
Okay. All right. Indeed. All right. Well, I should share this with my friends in the hall. And
Friends.
I was trying to think of a bigger word.
Oh, we're friends. This is great news.
Comrades, compatriots.
I almost said co-conspirators.
Too much Elite 8. She said, "Oh, before you go, make sure that we have that apron back so you don't potentially spread this anywhere."
Oh, yes.
Well, we know that it's not contagious in that way, likely if it is rat fever. So maybe I can let some loved ones come check on their people here.
And we should keep an eye, have people check themselves or each other for potential rat bites.
Yes, indeed. I will send a missive out to the entire ship. Check yourselves for rat bites and watch what meat you eat.
Wonderful.
Very good. Thank you, Bethen.
Dr. Orenth, I will speak with you again soon.
Very good.
All right, so I go out in the hall and I say, Liliana,
Yeah.
we can't eat rats.
Why not?
The illness is caused by infected rats, and unfortunately, I do not know how to tell the difference between a rat infected with rat fever and a healthy rat.
But you cook it, and then the infection goes away. And then you can eat it.
I'm pretty certain that's true.
I think, too, if you marinate it in alcohol, the alcohol would kill.
Yeah, beer brew. Let's brew it in some ale, cook it up. It'll be just fine.
Whoever
Anyway.
has it can make a trade cook test here.
A 97.
Wow, starting strong, Gerti.
That'd be really good if it was a different game.
Oh, yeah. It's very bad here.
What am I rolling for a test? Both?
Yep.
Yes.
So it'll be the D100.
So that'll be 3 negative success levels.
89. I didn't do much better, I don't think.
All right, so
Ah, that's a high roll, too. This is good.
Yikes.
all right, so she passes that information on.
Okay.
Still
don't know how.
It doesn't add up. I don't think if you put it in alcohol first or flambe it, it gets rid of all the sickness. I don't think it's from eating rats. Unless they were raw rats.
Did the rats bite them? That probably did it.
Some were bitten. I did see some wounds that were, indicative of rat bites. I don't understand how this would be connected to the disappearances, though. Unless there is a giant rat that would eat them.
Well, maybe it's
We
a
don't talk about those.
bunch of tiny rats disguised as a big rat.
In one large cloak, yes?
Yes.
A giant rat is, of course, the absurd fantasy of those with a lesser intellect.
I agree. It's
Obviously,
definitely
there
small
must
rats
be a
joined
much
together.
more logical explanation.
Sure, we're going to agree with Heinrik right here. And I'm going to look at Vicious and go and give him the cue for sniffing out rats.
All right. We'll see how successful Vicious is next time. Check out episode 2 as our investigation begins.